Hello dear crypto friends and welcome to this latest episode, and today I want to talk about Bitcoin. What will it likely do? Are we out of the woods yet? Will we see a rally towards the end of the year or not? What the hell is happening now? Before we start, as always, the usual disclaimer, I have to say it, I don't want to get sued or anything. I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take anything too seriously of what I'm saying. Always do your own research before investing, okay? So then, let's start. So why am I making this video now? Because I see all the time like bull run, bull market is continuing, confirmed, we are over 50,000, yes, awesome, over 50,000, it's continuing like crazy, 100k plus by the end of the year, confirmed, there's no possible way around it. Guys, we should always be careful. If you want to have success in the crypto market, you need brutal patience, we established that already, but also careful, and it's always better to be conservative than overly optimistic. That also makes kind of sense, right? Let's as always start with our good old long-term Bitcoin chart. Like here we have established the long-term trend channel in the logarithmic chart. For everyone that is new here, we always use logarithmic y-axis. This chart here is on TradingView. All the charts I always do on tradingview.com. This here is the price of BTC in the weekly picture. So one candle is 1 week, and we can see that if we draw this line here, you know, the resistance line, I see many people drawing the line like this. Okay, they use the uppermost part of the weekly candle here, and then they say, okay, look guys, that is awesome, I draw it like this, and oh nice, we are already through. That's awesome, that's super bullish, bull market confirmed, yay, we're breaking through and going directly to, I don't know, 140,000, right, like this here. Unfortunately, that's not how trend lines work. You should always use the candle close as part of your trend lines, okay? If you make support lines or resistance lines, both always use the candle close. So in this case, we take the candle close here, connect it with the candle close of this weekly candle, and what do we get? We perfectly get the candle close of this here. It perfectly aligns, and we can see that we are not out of the woods yet. This weekly candle here, okay, it could still close below the resistance. So you can of course wiggle around here. The trend lines can always be chosen such that you, I don't know, can make them fit your narrative. But you can see, no matter how I draw the line here, if I take the weekly candle closes, I can see that we are not perfectly out of the woods yet. If the weekly candle closes way over 50,000, like 52, 53,000, it's reason to get more optimistic. But today is Wednesday, and until the weekly candle close, there are still quite a few days, 4.5 days with today, where a lot of stuff can happen. So we shouldn't be too overexcited yet, because the weekly candle has not closed yet. So we could, in theory, still see some evil stuff. BTC could still do something like this. You're like, oh yeah, awesome, and doing a bull market, and then like, oh no, dumping down and then bouncing around here, and then I don't know what, bouncing around and delaying the whole rally and recovery, and then it starts the bull run, I don't know, pretty late in 2022. That can also happen. So do not draw your conclusions too early. Always wait for the candle close. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is, if we look at the daily chart, okay, we look at the daily chart. Let's disable all these lines here, they are distracting us. And now we do the famous Fibonacci retracements, okay? The Fibonacci levels are a very important tool in charting. You always can see the support levels and the resistance levels with the Fibonacci lines. So we always take, for the Fibonacci lines, the uppermost point of a move and connect it with the lowermost point, okay? So in our case, 65k with 28k. And then you see the Fibonacci lines, and what can you see? You can see that we are not above the critical level yet, and the critical level is always the 0.702 Fibonacci line. So in our case here, it is this purple line. If we go above the purple line, then the floodgates are opening. Then I'm starting to get optimistic. If you get something like this here, awesome guys, like woo, we are over the line here, you know, then the floodgates are opening. But as long as we are below this line, as long as BTC is hovering around here, it can still go brutally down, you know, it can still happen. The 702 line is the most important line with retracements, and we still do not know fully yet if we are in a bounce and we go down lower, or if we are in like a bounce and then this is like the ramp for the rocket, you know, and we go much higher. So it will decide soon if it bounces around here or if it goes through the 0.702 level, something like this, and then goes up a lot higher. It will be decided very soon, but it is not decided yet. So please don't believe all those people telling you now, wow, bull market confirmed, this is awesome, plan B, 288,000 by the end of the year. I'm more conservative, and in my opinion and from my experience, it's always better to be more conservative in this market than to be overly optimistic, because if you are very optimistic, you might get brutally disappointed and will end up being sad, whereas when you are conservative and something happens that is better than what you expected, you are happy. So that's a better situation, I would say. Okay, so you don't believe me now that the 702 level is so important. Where else did the 702 level play a super important role? Good, let's look at the crash from 2017. The famous BTC crash where it reached 19,000 something and then went down to 11,000. Let's just switch to the 3-day chart here. Okay. So what can we see? We can see something very interesting. We take the top, we connect it with the lowermost point of the first crash. The first retrace went from almost 20,000 to 11,000. It bounced up to an incredible 17,000 something, but it did not manage, as you can see, to break through the 702 Fibonacci level. It tried twice, it went even above, but the 3-day candle close was below this level. And the next time it also tried, but did not manage to break through the level, and bam, down we went. Okay, so you say, hey, this is still a coincidence. This is a coincidence. It can mean anything. Okay, then let's look at the famous 2013 bubble, right? The 2013 bubble is a very beautiful example. So it went up to 1163. I was there when it happened. I can tell you it were wild times. And it went down to a very crazy 382. Wow, what a brutal dump. But it retraced, like it bounced up so much, it's crazy. So it went up and even touched in the 3-day chart here, even touched the 0.786 Fibonacci resistance level, okay? But it didn't go through. And what happened? It got pushed down. It closed below the 702, the important 702 level. The 3-day candle closed below the 702. Tried in the next 3-day candle to go above again, failed again, got pushed down, and that's it. Tried twice to go through the 702 level, as we can see here, did not manage to go through, got rejected, and down we went even lower, even lower, even lower. And to trend lines, I also want to say this. I saw a lot of people back then drawing this trend line here and saying like, look guys, it's awesome, we have broken through the trend line, everything is awesome now. You can draw it like this and you say, hey look, we went above the trend line, so this is awesome, we're doing a plateau here and it will start going up. But no, it went down more and more and more. And then people started drawing this trend line, you know, that's like a more conservative trend line. And then they said like, but look, awesome, we still broke through here. We are above this resistance line and the resistance has now become support. And then you had people saying, okay, this is now the ramp for like, we will go up from here, right? This is like a rocket ramp, which is building here. And you can see that it sometimes even goes above the support and then bam, breaks down. So you can draw those trend lines however you want to fit your narrative somehow, but they are never a perfect measure for getting confirmation. That's why in our case now we should also be careful how we draw the line, right? So we draw the line like this. Okay, it could be that we are through, it could be that we are not through. We don't know exactly. We can draw it like this or like this. So trend lines are always a tricky thing, okay? It's not perfect for getting confirmation. If it's a clear break, like if we close now at 55,000, then it's a clear break for me of the resistance line, then I'm super bullish, okay? I'm starting getting super bullish because then we also broke through the, let's go again to our Fibonacci retracement levels, because then we would have broken also through our 0.702 level here. And we want to go through this 702 level. It's a super important level. We need to go through, okay? So as long as we didn't break through here and we are bouncing around here, I will be still kind of like reserved, okay? I will be like not super euphoric. But if we go through now, and if the weekly candle closes above the 54,000 level, the 702 Fibonacci level, then like this here, something like this happens, then I'm starting to get super optimistic that we really will get a continued bull run until the end of the year or in the next months, however long it will take, because I still think the cycles probably will get longer. You have to remember the last halving was in May 2020 and the halving of the previous cycle was in July 2020. So we are already 2 months longer into the cycle as we were the last time in 2017. So we are now where we were in December 2017. So this cycle is already longer because we should be at the peak already, but we are not at the peak. So I'm pretty sure that this cycle will be a bit different. It feels a bit too easy for me to say like, 4-year cycle confirmed peak in December. I think we will see some new stuff. I cannot prove it, but this is, in my opinion, or from my experience, how markets work. Markets, like if everyone expects something like this is sure it will happen, plan B said 288k confirmed, then usually it doesn't happen, okay? So I think some new stuff will happen, but I hope to be wrong, and I hope we get the awesome bull run here until the end of the year. Let's go to the weekly chart and let's erase the Fibonacci levels and let's put in our good long-term trend line here. And then I really hope like we will go up here like bam, and we are at 147,000 by December, but I am still not 100% sure because BTC can be a real nasty thing sometimes, right? And it can just make a fake bull, you know, pretend to go through, and then in actuality it doesn't go through, and bam, goes down and does something like this and bounces around for a long time, and then I don't know, at some point in 2022 it will start continuing the bull run. So we shouldn't be too happy yet. We still should observe. As soon as BTC will go through all the important resistance levels, I will make a video shouting out bull run confirmed, okay? I will make a video shouting out bull run confirmed. But until then, friends, remain conservative and cautious. That's the key to success in this market. And of course, you know, the whole crypto market follows Bitcoin. So I'm talking about Bitcoin here, but this is true for every coin. If Bitcoin dumps, then all coins will dump. And if Bitcoin pumps, then with a delay, all coins will pump, okay? I'm speaking of Bitcoin now, but this is synonymous for the whole crypto market because Bitcoin is the leader of the crypto market. Always keep that in mind. And always be disciplined and calm and patient, and then you will brutally succeed in this market. So then, friends, I hope you had fun. I certainly had. And see you next time.